EN Analytics and Consulting Limited. He's an actuarial analyst and data scientist. Currently studying for his PhD in finance at the University of Ghana Business School. Over the past few weeks, he's been sharing us some details about swing regions, about the MP analysis, about the presidential candidates, what you should look out for, whether it's likely NDC, likely MPP, whether it is toss-up plus NDC or toss-up plus MPP, or whether it is solid MPP or solid NDC. So I'm sure that if you're working and following a candidate, you know by now what you should be doing and what you should not be doing. Today we're talking about rejected ballots. And somebody mentioned to me the other time that, in fact, if you put the rejected ballots and the spoiled ballots together, they make more votes than all the smaller parties put together. I said, wow. Well, he's here with the details. Ebenezer, good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, good morning to you all.
Good to see you.
And good morning to our listeners and viewers as well.
How was your weekend?
Yeah, everything was fine.
It was good.
Yes. We are looking forward to a very great analysis this morning.
Great. Rejected ballots, what are they?
Rejected ballots are, let me put it like, let's say, spoiled ballots.
Right.
Okay, there are some people, when they go to the polling station, either they don't, we use the thumb printing method, so they thumb print wrongly. Based on the guidelines,
right?
Or they don't. There are some when they reach there, they even decide not to vote at all.
Okay.
They just fold it and put it in a box.
Right.
So all of this, when they are counted, this is what we call the rejected
ballots.
In common terms, we say spoiled ballot.
We have had this throughout all the election cycles since 1992.
Exactly. Actually, 1992 was the highest.
Okay.
That we recorded. We recorded 3.63.
Okay.
That was the very first time.
Wow.
You know,
of the total valid votes cast, we're at 3.63.
Of the total vote cast.
Total votes cast.
Yes.
We had 3.63.
Exactly.
Well, that's quite a number.
Exactly. Because I think that was the first time that we started a fourth Republican.
After a long time.
Exactly. So I think things were a bit new and people were not used to the proper way of voting. And at that time, too, education was not that high in terms of the ballot box.
Right.
But in 1996, I mean, it stabilized.
Okay.
We moved to 1.59. In 2000, we came to 1.5.
So 1996 was 1.59. 1992 was 3.63.
Yeah, 1992 was 3.63.
Right.
So we actually halved it.
Okay.
When we went to 1996.
Okay, let's go on.
And in the year 2000, we remained relatively the same as 1996. It was 1.58.
Okay.
And then it shot up again in 2004.
Okay. Why did it shoot up? Give me the figures first, and then we can look at why it shot up.
2004 was 2.31.
2.31 from 1.58. Why did we shoot up? Why did they shoot up?
I'm just looking at the data. Maybe the underlying reasons might be difficult to probably know.
To know, right.
Yeah, but it was quite a...
it had shot up.
Yeah, not an encouraging number based on our levels in 96 and 2000.
Right. And then 2008?
2008, we increased it a bit, 2.37.
2.37. So this was... The 2000 election was the election that brought President Kufuor to power.
Exactly.
1.58 it had reduced, but while President Kufuor was in power and until he left, in fact, the last election that was held while he was in power between Mills and Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, it had shot up.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. So we had 2.37. And then we came to 2012 of 2.24.
2.24.
Exactly.
It reduced from 2.37 to 2.24.
Yeah, we reduced marginally.
Right.
And then finally in
2016,
we recorded one of the lowest, I think the lowest in the fourth Republican Constitution.
Okay.
We had 1.54.
1.54. Oh, okay. That's impressive.
Yes.
Pretty much like 1996, but this one is the lowest.
Yeah, this is our lowest. And then from there, we moved to 2020. We started climbing again.
Ooh.
2.34.
2.34.
Yeah, so actually in 2020, 316,000 of the total vote cast were spoiled ballots.
316,000.
Exactly.
That's enough to make an MPO. That's enough to make somebody an MP.
Yeah, so
wow.
you can see that we are beginning to lose ground again. Okay, we did well. We from 2004 up to 2012. I mean, we moved up into a bit of a hump phase. We thought that probably after we've done so well in 2016, yes,
the best
have come
in the
down,
morning
but
is on 92.7.
it wasn't meant to be.
These are the national figures.
These are the national.
Do we have the regional breakdowns?
Yes. So I want us to look at if they can put.
Well, let's put the graphs up so we can get to follow through. Our listeners can also enjoy what we are enjoying in the studio at this point. Yes.
Remember that time you said that when you put the total vote of the third parties together,
that's right.
It may be below the rejected.
Right.
Actually, your assessment was wrong. Was right because from 2012.
2012.
Yeah, from 2012. Total rejected ballots.
Right.
Overtook all third parties combined.
Whoa.
Yes. So, in 2016, I mean, it dipped slowly below the third party.
Right.
But in 2020, you had rejected ballots of 2.34.
Okay.
As against 1.34.
Wow.
For third parties.
Wow.
So you can see that virtually rejected ballots in 2020 was way higher than all the third parties from GUM to
PNC, CPP,
NDP,
PPP.
all of them combined together.
Whoa.
The percentage of votes that they had was
rejected ballots 2.34.
Exactly.
The total sum of all the smaller parties was 1.34.
Exactly.
Wow. That's 1 clear percent.
Yes.
Ahead of them.
Yes. And if you look at it even critically, this is even higher because the valid vote is the percentage of the third parties is calculated as a ratio of the valid vote.
Okay.
So the denominator is smaller.
Right.
But the rejected ballot is calculated as a ratio of the total vote cast.
I get you now.
And so if you are doing 2.34 as rejected ballot, you are doing way far ahead.
Okay.
Because the first one was based on valid votes.
Okay.
The second one is based on
the total votes
vote cast.
all the voters that came out to vote. Okay. Whether they voted right or wrong.
Exactly.
It's counted.
Exactly.
And yours is part.
Exactly. So you see that the ratio of two, if you use actually the 2.34, if you bring it down to the valid vote arena, it's going to shoot up. You get it?
See.
So it means that valid vote is
it's way ahead than
far ahead of all
a lot of voter education is needed then, so that people are aware that this is what you are doing to us, because it's a lot of money printing these ballot sheets and you have them going. But let's look at the regional. I mean, which region, for example, do you find most rejected ballots in?
So this is how the regional in 2020. I'm going through all the 16 regions.
Right.
Okay. Greater Accra had the lowest, 1.3%.
1.3%
of the rejected ballots.
Right.
Followed by Ashanti
region.
1.4%.
1.4.
Ahafo. 2.1.
2.1.
Volta
region. 2.2.
Volta and Eastern were the same. Eastern 2 was 2.2.
Okay.
Central 2.5.
2.5.
Central and Western were the same.
Okay.
Both had 2.5.
Right.
Bono 2.6.
Okay.
Western North 2.9.
Okay.
Bono East 3.2. OT 3.5.
3.5.
Northern 3.6.
Northern region 3.6.
Now we are moving into the fours. Upper West 4.2.
4.2. That's alarming.
Upper East 4.5.
4.5.
Northeast 4.5.
4.5.
And then Savannah 4.6.
Savannah region 4.6. Wow. Great. I want to hazard what could be causing this. Greater Accra, yes, you can say it's cosmopolitan, most of the crutches. If you look at the major regions, for want of a better expression, you find the numbers are, down there. You go then up north, then you find that a lot of voter education needs to be done here.
Exactly.
A lot of voter education.
I think the NCC has, they have to step up.
Right.
In the 5 northern regions, because the level of rejected ballot in that area is way too high. We are looking at 4.2, 4.5, 4.5, and 4.6.
Is on 92.7.
The lowest is northern region,
right?
And even the northern region is highest comparing to all
the other regions
south in the, coming southward.
Right.
So I think that entire enclave, voter education on the right way of voting.
Right.
Education is very much needed.
It's very much needed. I agree with you on that one. And you're live on 3FM 92.7. I'm in studio with Ebenezer Nima Kunyako, is a founder and CEO of EN Analytics and Consulting Limited. And we're getting into some detail here about rejected ballots. The analysis will shock you. 3.63 in 1992 of the total votes cast. 1996 was 1.59. In 2000 was 1.58. 2004 2.31. In 2008 2.37 of the total votes cast. In 2012 we had 2.24 of the total votes cast. 2016 1.54 of the total votes cast, and then in 2020 2.34 of the total vote cast. Now, that 2.34 equaled 316,000 votes. Do we know how many votes are contained in this 1.3, 1.4, 2.1, etc., if you have the detail?
No, I don't really.
Right, you didn't concern yourself
yes,
with
I was more looking at the ratios.
So what do we do with this data now?
No, so we can break down within this,
right,
and look at certain specific constituencies.
Right. Okay. Let's do that.
So we want to look at the top 20.
Okay.
Constituencies.
Top 20 constituencies that have the highest rejected ballots.
Exactly.
Let's hit it.
So the first one, we are looking at Pusiga. Yes.
Okay.
They had 7.14%.
Okay.
Of their votes ballot rejected.
The best in the morning is on 92.7.
Followed by Yo-Yo.
Bugpurugu Yo-Yo.
Yes.
3FM.
6.49%.
Whoa.
Solar Tuna Kalba. 5.96.
Okay.
Tatale.
Sanguli.
Another 5.95%. Tempani, 5.89. Lambusi Kani, 5.83. Yape Kasegu. Okay, 5.67.
Right.
Bulsa South, you are looking at 5.59. Wa West, 5.42. Garu, 5.4. Bimbila, 5.25. Sisala East, 5.24. Telansi, 5.2. Binduri, 5.12. Chirepone, 5.06. Jurapa, 5%. Wolensi, 4.95. Gushegu, 4.88. Sene East, 4.87. And then
Lafayette Mabusa Isa.
okay, 4.86.
Senate East is a surprise to me here because if you look at the national averages that you were giving me and the regional breakdown, I didn't see any southern thing shooting up, any southern region shooting up. But Senate East should.
I think it's in the either a half of that area.
Yes. So it's still closer to the top.
Yeah, but it could be that even if in regions with lower rejected ballot ratios, there could still be pocket of constituencies that are above the national average.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Wow.
So you can see that all the top 20, I mean, virtually all of them are up north.
And this is a constant, or it changes with each electoral cycle?
No, mostly.
This top 20?
No, this is from the 2020 election cycle.
Okay, the 2020 election cycle. Okay.
Yes. But the pattern has historically been the same. That the northern region almost constitute or have the greatest number of shares of rejected ballots.
I see. Wow. What else is there?
So I think, as we've talked about education, we can also look at the top 10 constituencies with the least rejected ballots.
Let's hit it. Let's go out.
So, Bantama,
okay.
So they top 2020.
Okay.
They had 0.48.
0.48.
Yes.
Bantama.
Yes.
Okay.
Followed by Old Tafo.
0.5. 0.5.
Third is Menchia South.
Okay.
0.53%.
0.53.
Next is Inshiaeso.
Okay.
0.54.
Okay.
Kwadaso. 0.55. Menchia North. 0.67. Tema Central. 0.71%. Swami, 0.74, Subin, 0.79, and then Ifia, 0.7, also 0.79.
Ifia constituency is in the western region.
Exactly.
And then you have Tama Central in the Greater Accra region.
Exactly.
The rest are in the Ashanti region.
All of them, all the top 10, apart from Ifia and Tema Central.
What are they doing right? Okay, so Inshiasu is more like an estate area. Most of them are, nicely organized constituencies, if you ask me, in the Ashanti region. But what are they doing right? Do we know?
Maybe, the parties are educating their members rightly, and maybe the level of education by the NCC is high. But it's very surprising. It's very, very surprising that you have 80% of the top 10 with the lowest rejected ballot, all in Ashanti region.
That's something to applaud the Ashanti region for.
Exactly.
Because these are not maybe small boy constituencies.
No.
Swami is big.
Yes.
Subing is big.
Yeah.
Menchia North is big. Kwadaso is big. Inshiaso is big. Menchia South is big. Otafo is big. Bantama is big.
Exactly. These are actually the big boys, in their region. So
they are the central of the centrals in the Ashanti region.
So they are pivotal to the MPP's fortunes.
Right.
So I think they've managed to cut down on the number of rejected ballots in those big constituencies.
Right.
And I think
they deserve some applause.
Exactly.
Maybe other MPs need to go and learn from them and then come back and know what they are doing right and what they are not doing.
Yes. I think there is something that they are doing right that the other regions are not doing.
Right.
And I think they have to maybe go and learn and then learn something good from them.
Thank you. Ebenezer Nyako, founder and CEO of EN Analytics and Consulting Limited. He's an actuarial analyst and data scientist, currently reading for his PhD in Finance at University of Ghana Business School. What are we to expect on Wednesday? Give us a teaser.
Wednesday, we want to look at what we call constituency analysis.
Okay.
And so Wednesday, we focus our attention on specific constituencies.
Okay. I'm coming to 10 people's stomach again.
No.
MPs.
No.
Give them BP.
The last time we talked about it was parliamentary.
Right.
On Wednesday, we are going to look at how specific constituencies vote at the national level.
Okay.
We remember we look at swing regions and all those things. Yes. So we want to also look at constituencies that have 100% record of electing the president.
Okay.
We want to look at, there are certain constituents who have 100% record of electing. They have never faulted. If they vote for you, you are winning the president.
I see.
So we will look at all these constituencies on Wednesday, and we also have a look at which constituencies. There are certain constituencies, for example, Domi Kwabenya, there have been a massive shift of voters moving in that constituency. The growth of the voter population in that area is astronomical. So we look at all these specific constituencies that have contributed in an enormous way in shaping the national discourse as far as the presidential elections are concerned.
Thank you, Ebenezer Nimakunyaku. We are grateful for your time as well. Make a date with us on Wednesday. It brings you some more detail. It will help you and your constituency and your MP and your party and your interests. Stay with us on your Election Command Center. We'll head to the Supreme Court in a bit to understand what's happening there. The courts are to sit today to hear the matter involving 4 seats that have been declared vacant by the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin. Lord Iduasar is in court for us. He will tell us what's happening in court, whether proceedings have begun, what is seeing around there, whether the parties have represented, and whether people are in paraphernalia seeking their interest, and also a situation up there at ICOM. Remember the favorite name, Dr. Bonaventure Benedict Alege Bam, the regional minister, who is the board chair for ICOM, I'm told is moving this day to remove him with the help of the security. After he decided that, well, the letters from the presidency, the Greek ministry, the regional ministry, and also the HR at ICO and many others make no meaning to him to vacate his position and his office. We'll speak to a unionist, and then we shall also engage with Castro Senyala. Castro represents us up there in the north. Castro, thank you very much for your time. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Is Dr. Ligibam still at post?
Yes, Ligibam is still at post. Yesterday, I saw him cruising in his V6 that belongs to the ICOR, somewhere around Avrongo. That was somewhere around 4 p.m. in the evening. Yes, so as we speak now, Ligibam is still at post as managing director of ICOR, despite the fact that he's supposed to go on retirement and despite several letters from the presidency asking him to vacate his post and hand over immediately.
Castro, now the mood in town, knowing that the regional minister for the Upper East region could possibly be moving to remove Dr. Ligibam from office with the security, what has it been?
In the Navrongo community, and in fact, in the Upper East region, there has been a bit of excitement, especially on social media, where residents have even described the intervention of the regional minister as being long overdue. Residents believe that if authorities were serious about ensuring that the directives from the presidency are complied to as far as Ligibam's handing over of affairs of the company is concerned, the regional minister should have taken action earlier and not now. But all the same, they are still happy that at least Ligibam will be leaving office to set a precedent to all other office holders who would want to toe his lane. Some are even suggesting that whether the regional minister goes there and meets him or not, because usually for some time now, whenever the local authority wants to engage him to see how best he can hand over power, he finds one excuse or the other not to be present, and then they leave him. So this time around, residents are asking that whether he is in the office or not, the regional minister should go there with police and force take him out. And let me say this quickly. I just got information about 10 minutes ago that armed police officers stormed there, and per what my inside sources tell me, went there to inspect to see whether he's around or not, and get back to wherever they came from.
I see.
And so we still keep our eyes peeled and glued to ICO.
Let's connect on the other phone line. Castro, you hold on for me and speak with Zuga Augustine. He's the secretary of the Union of GAU in ICO. Good morning. Thank you for your time.
Good morning.
Now,
and good morning to your listeners.
Confirm for me, is Dr. Legibam still at post after you and your colleagues locked his office doors and that of the accountant?
Yes, as I speak to you, I can say that he still holds the office because he has not come as I speak to you this morning. But I can confirm that the regional minister met us on Friday and told us that he's now a former MD, and he will communicate to him to come today, 1 o'clock, and hand over all the properties of the company to the next person who will be acting. And based on that, this morning, as I speak to you, I'm in the office, and armed police are here to inspect the place and to make sure calm is there, awaiting the regional minister to arrive somewhere around 1 o'clock.
I see. Now, the regional minister, what could have moved him this time around? Because he has written, and we do know that the chief of staff has written and all of that, but Dr. Legibam has been adamant. What could make the region staff be moving now?
All right, I can confirm to you that when we met regional minister on Friday, he told us that he was doing his background checks and corresponding with the chief of staff. And on 7th, chief of staff wrote back to regional minister and told him that he should make sure he do all he can to make sure the man leaves the office or he hands over the company property. That's why he is taking all these steps today to make sure the man leaves and he will be able to report back to the chief of staff office.
What for you as GAU unionists and for the farmers who wrote and said they can no longer work with Dr. Legibam, and for the workers at ICO, what does this mean to you?
In fact, today we are saying that if the handing over is done, then there is light back in ICO. But we, as workers, will still insist that, yes, we need a new managing director. We need a facelift. Even though they are handing over to somebody to act for the meantime, but we will quickly entreat that they should get us a new managing director immediately so that at least the new face or the light we are seeing at the end of today will be a glory and a success. Farmers will be happy, workers will be happy that today we can work freely. We will not be working under threat. We will not be working under humiliation, harassment, and all those kind of things that human beings have gone through that shouldn't have gone through.
Thank you, Augustine Zuga. We're grateful that you could join us. He's the secretary of the Union, GAU at ICO, and Castro Senyala, our Upper East regional correspondent. We're grateful for your time this morning. Thank you very much indeed, gentlemen. Let's quickly do birthdays and crossover to the Supreme Court.